Good evening. I'd like to call to order, please, the regular meeting of the Monee Village Board of Trustees for June 23rd, 2021. And if we could please have Joe DeCenzo from Second Place Church for the invocation.
Thanks for having me again, just a couple weeks later. Our church, along with the Monee Lives of Churches, endeavors to see Monee be a great place to live, work, play, raise a family, and worship. In order to see that happen, it's going to take all of us working together. Mother Teresa said this: "What I can do, you cannot. What you can do, I cannot. But together, we can do something beautiful for God." So we must work together, village leaders, first responders, church leaders, business leaders, nonprofit leaders, education leaders, because we all bring something unique to the village. Let's pray. Lord, we pray a blessing over the village of Monee. Whatever happened in the past does not define this town's future. Instead, we look to you to write the next chapter, and we declare that it is good because of how you are working in and through the leaders of Monee. Because of you, we can be confident of this, that when we choose to put you first in our town, everything we need to thrive is deposited into our account. Unity, productivity, and favor that goes beyond our limited skills and ambitions. As we dedicate the work of our hands to the greater good of this town, we pray that you would inspire us to be creative and find new and better ways to work together so that Monee is an incredible place to live, work, play, raise a family, and worship. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Roll call, please, Donisha.
Trustee Gonzalez. Here. Trustee Horn.
Here.
Trustee Razek. Trustee Rakes. Trustee Wilson.
Present.
Trustee Udris.
Present.
All right, open to the public. Agenda items only, please. And moving on to the consent agenda. All right, can I have a motion to accept it, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
And moving on to the clerk's report.
Thank you, Mayor Bogues. Real quick, just want to give a census update. I know I've gotten that question quite a bit lately. I did speak with the representative, and what they're stating is they're still getting all the information together. They will start rolling that information out in phases beginning in August. So once I have that information, I'll be sure to report that. End of report.
Thank you. And then this evening, we are very honored to have swearing in of 4 new officers here in Monee.
I could have Matthew first, please.
And if you could please raise your right hand and insert your name after I.
I, Matthew Eberhardt,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as police officer
as police
for the
officer
Village of Monee
for the Village of Monee
Police Department
Police
to the
Department
best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And may I have Clayton next? Thank you. And if you could please raise your right hand and insert your name after I say aye. I
I, Clayton Ritter,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as police officer
as a police officer
for the Village of Monee
for the Village of Monee
Police Department
Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
May I have, is it Andre? If you can raise your right hand and repeat after me, insert your name after I. I
I, Andre Robles,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the State of the United States,
and I will support the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will support the Constitution of the State of
and I
Illinois,
will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as police officer
as police officer
for the Village of Monee
for the Village of Monee
Police Department
Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. And may I have it Spiro? Spiro. I apologize. Thank you. If you can insert your name after I. I
I, Spiro Georgiakis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as police officer
as a police officer
for the Village of Monee
for the Village of Monee
Police Department
Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you could bear with us for a minute, we'd like to take this opportunity to get some photo ops with the mayor, so we'll be just a couple minutes. Thank you. Matthew, you're up first. Bring your family up here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can keep it out. Oh, it's not automatic.
I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it out.
Yeah, I was an evidence tech, so I have to get different angles here.
Must have paid.
Awesome, you guys. Thank you.
Like I needed to.
Oh. Good ad. You're welcome.
Grandma too.
All right.
Spiro?
You're up.
You up, Spiro? I met all of them, and you guys.
Oh, it's already okay.
I am that guy. I don't have to stand up on my
I'm not gonna get all of them.
Yep. Right, hold you to, sir. Oh, thanks, too.
Sorry, no, I'm not saying. Look at them trying to do it by height.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Mayor, could you go next to the chief? Because then it's three and, yeah.
It's like you like each other, maybe.
Yes, the second one, turn that way. There you go.
There we go. Okay,
Diana, you go first.
All right, in here.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Okay, on to the mayor's report. I have none. Ruben is not with us this evening. He had a death in the family, so Larry will be filling in for Ruben. So on to the administrator's report, please.
Thank you, Mayor. The first item, under H1, if the board recalls on June 9th, discussion was made regarding the scheduled June 17th shut-off date. We decided to have the shut-off date and direct the staff to work on a viable solution. As a nation, state of Illinois continues to move through the aftermath of COVID-19, the Village of Monee remains vigilant and sensitive to all the residents that have been adversely affected. Therefore, to help mitigate the financial burden upon those affected, the village will extend a 90-day period to help residents put their account in order. Additionally, the $30 late fee will be imposed upon the initial late bill. No additional late fees will be added during this 90-day grace period. Once the 90-day period has come to a close, any outstanding accounts holding a balance of $300 or more will be subject to water shutoff procedures. In the event any resident remains unable to pay the full balance or holds a balance of $300 or more, will be directed to meet with the village staff to coordinate a payment plan and will be required to provide written documentation verifying their inability to make payment. The action requested tonight is a motion to authorize village staff to implement the 90-day grace period as stated above.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. Under the administrator's report, H2, again, at the June 9, 2021 Village Board meeting, discussion was made regarding the Water Tower Number 3 IEPA loan. The village is scheduled to begin the IEPA loan repayment on August 1st, 2021. The amount is $2,701,573.20 over a 20-year period, set at a rate of 1.3% interest rate. In order to offset the loan costs, the village had previously decided to impose a 5% pay increase to each water bill account, which was to be in effect on July 1st, 2021. After much discussion during the June 9th meeting, the board's consensus was to pay the full loan amount by the first pay date, which again is August 1st, 2021. The village will not incur any prepaid penalties or interest for a paid in full payment. It should also be noted that early payment will help alleviate any added financial burden to the village residents. We need two motions tonight. One would be a motion to eliminate the July 1st, 2021 5% water rate increase.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item for board action, in conjunction with the elimination of the 5% water rate increase, a separate motion to authorize the full payment of the water tower IEPA loan in the amount of $2,701,573.20. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn? Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is a payout. This is a payout on the Industrial Drive sanitary and water project, and it's been recommended by Robinson to pay the invoice of to Aries Construction, by the way, $184,930.94. You need a motion for payment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is board information only. There's no action to be taken. A pre-construction meeting for the Court Street Location Agency Functional Overlay was held this past Tuesday. Iroquois Paving was awarded the contract. The Court Street Local Agency Functional Overlay Project is a roadway maintenance resurfacing project of Court Street between Elder Lane and Eastgate Avenue. This work includes select concrete curb and gutter removal and replacement, sidewalk removal and replacement generally in the vicinity of curb ramps, utility structure adjustments, milling of the existing asphalt surface, roadway patching as required, asphalt resurfacing, roadway striping, and landscape restoration. The contractor has a tentative start date of, I believe, it says June 28th, but I think it's July 5th or 6th, I believe. The construction's anticipated to last 1.5 to 2 months. The roadway should remain open during the construction timeframe.
Any questions on any of that?
I would just like to say too, I know on the village website and signage, Ed, can we make sure that the village knows well in advance that this is going to be happening and send it out to the masses? Thank you.
So my question is, I know there's portions of the south side of Court Street, probably from Lynn Lane to maybe Middle Point, maybe to Eastgate. On the south side, there's no sidewalk. Is there plans included in this plan to have a south side sidewalk?
I don't believe so. I believe that the drainage ways, are there now. It's just improvement. It's not new construction.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And the last item for the board's consideration. Currently, the Monee Police Department is staffed with 13 full-time patrol officers. 2 officers are off on workers' compensation. Both of these officers are able to retire, and one of the officers has decided to retire once he is released from workman's compensation. 2 other officers are also eligible for retirement, and another officer has notified the chief that he has applied with another law enforcement agency and may leave to take a lateral transfer to this department. Staffing has quickly become a serious problem in a short amount of time. Additionally, the upcoming Police Academy class scheduled for August of 2021 only has a few reserve spots open before the class is closed to any additional candidates. The chief has requested that the board considering hiring the injured officer's replacement now before we lose the eligible candidates to another department and/or if the academy is full. If what we would need to do, if the board deems this appropriate, we would have to pass an ordinance first to amend the current Title V, Chapter 1, Section 7, and then reaffirm it at the next board meeting. Basically, the change would be the Monee Police Department shall be staffed as deemed appropriate by the village president and the Board of Trustees. The police chief and village administrator shall make annual recommendations to the village officials relative to staffing. We need to do this because right now, under the current ordinance, there's restrictions on how many patrol officers we have. So what was discussed was to give Chief Rubin, give input to the mayor, and at every annual meeting, they can determine if we need additional police officers, because every time we got to come back, and right now, I think the limit's 13, and if we need more officers, and the academy closed, or I know there's a shortage of candidates, so with the board's permission, we like to pass this ordinance first, reaffirm it at the next board meeting, but by doing this, then we can proceed with the hiring tonight.
So do you need a motion to accept the new ordinance?
Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on that?
I just have a question. With today's 4 new hires, where does that put us?
If I might, that puts us at full staffing right now for the full-time. 4 of the 4 that were here tonight, 2 of those officers are full-time going to the academy in July, and the other 2 are part-time officers. So we are at the 13 limit at this point.
With those.
And with that, the additional one, that's going to help supplement some of their overtime and shortages, up-and-coming shortages, correct?
In the long term, yes. In the short term, no. The reason we're asking to do this now, because to replace an officer who retires is going to take 8 to 9 months of training before he can go on solo patrol. So the sooner we start, the sooner we can get him out on the street. But yes, long term, it will reduce overtime being fully staffed.
Thank you.
And so for clarification, we're giving, the motion was to make it official so we can vote on it at the next meeting.
Well, what we're attempting to do, Trustee Gonzalez, is to change the ordinance tonight to allow us to hire tonight. Then what we would do is reaffirm the ordinance next board meeting. But by doing this tonight, it gives the chief the ability to hire the 1 extra patrolman, because currently the ordinance puts a restriction on the number of patrolmen, or patrol officers. So we're changing that, it would just reaffirm it at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
And we're doing the ordinance
Yes,
for this
please.
one. 1979.
Thank you, Mayor. And the last item for the board's consideration under the same action, you need a motion to approve the hiring of 1 officer candidate from the current Village of Monee's police eligibility list.
You looking for a motion for that?
Yes, please.
I'll make that motion also.
second it.
Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now moving on to the officials' reports. Public Works, Trustee Horn, please.
Good evening, everyone. A couple announcements for us. Industrial Drive Water and Sewer Main Project. The installation is complete. Pressure tests have been conducted. Disinfection and sampling are being done this week. The water main is expected to be in service by the end of next week. Sewer construction is approximately 50% complete, 9 to 10 working days estimated for completion. Mosquito abatement spraying for adult mosquitoes is scheduled to begin early next week, weather permitting. Please check Monee's Facebook page for updates on that. Street maintenance, curb, crosswalk, and stop bar painting is underway on village streets. I've seen them out doing that. This will continue off and on for the next few weeks as weather permits. Pond maintenance. DPW has been utilizing its newly acquired skid steer, regrading areas of detention ponds to improve flow and eliminate areas of standing water. I do want to make a few comments on our Orchard Trail gas main project, which has been a source of never-ending frustration, primarily for those like Scott who live on that street. There's been some meetings in the last few days with NICOR about this. I want to quote a couple phrases from the email that I received. We're sending this, I guess this meeting was done today. We will, or yesterday? We'll be sending the contractor out tomorrow, Thursday, because this email was written today, to backfill where we can and prep the other areas where we are done working. And then, in addition, he says, I am working with our landscaping and paving group to expedite restoration. So my comments on this are that that was pretty much the same comments that I got about 3 weeks ago from some of the officials at NICOR. I'm about ready to announce their names and their emails and their phone numbers publicly. So I will be gracious, give them 2 more weeks. Otherwise, if I don't see improvement, we will give you their direct line so the residents can call. I do want to end on a positive note, though. So I hope that gets done. The last thing, many of you have seen on Sunday night, I think it was, there was extensive storm damage done out in Naperville, Woodridge area. DPW is going to send a 2-man crew with a dump truck and chipper to the village of Woodridge tomorrow to assist with cleaning up tornado damage. And we have mutual aid agreements with villages, other villages in the area, and they would do the same for us if we were in that kind of situation. So we're happy to help. End of report.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation, Trustee Gonzalez.
So I know the timer is on, and I'll see whether I can get done before somebody else might. A couple things going on, of course, with Parks and Rec. The beautification, the curb appeal contest registration has ended, and we have 34 homes this year that have entered. Not bad at all for the second year, and we are so happy to see so many entries and how beautiful some of these yards and to the lengths that they've gone. Thank you also to the Monee Women's Club volunteers who is judging them this year, so we were very happy to be able to do that as well. Winners will be announced at the next board meeting on July 14th. The Hometown Hero banner is still accepting registrations. What a great way to honor our heroes. If you have a veteran or have a loved one who is or was a veteran and you'd like to submit a picture, please contact Parks and Rec Department, Diana at 534-8302 for more details. And the forms are still available also on the village website. If you just go to the main page and wait for the picture to come up, click on the picture and the registration form comes up. And then Kids Day is coming up on July 10th at Fireman's Park from 9 a.m. to noon. There's some pretty exciting things happening with, we know, for jumpies and the water slide, face painting, and an Oreo stacking contest, and much, much more. So there's a lot of details to be ironed out and are happening soon. So be on the lookout for more information on that as well. And tonight, after the village board meeting, Diana is going over to Fireman's Park to start Boss Baby, which is being sponsored again by Animal Wellness, and starts at 8:30. The next movies in the parks are going to be the Ants movie on July 4th, Land Before Time on August 4th, and Sing on August 11th. So be on the lookout for that, and again, thank you to Animal Wellness for that. The next farmers market is July 24th. Then the following ones would be August 21st, and the last one in September during our Fall Fest. That being said, during Fall Fest, the Fall Fest committee will be starting to meet. 5:30 before our next regular board meeting, the beginning on July 14th at 5:30. So in hoping to bring back Fall Fest and in adherence with our wonderful Parks and Rec comprehensive plan, we're going to need some volunteers for a volunteer commission. And I see Lee in the very front row here, who was one of our volunteers for a gazillion and a half years. So we'd be happy to have Lee Boswell on our Fall Fest committee once again. 5:30 on July 14th. If you have time, talent, and the wish to make a bigger and better Fall Fest committee, please join us then. End of report.
Thank you. Finance, Trustee Rakis.
No report tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Economic Development, Trustee Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. 2 business licenses have been recently issued, one being Tenderly Legs, food truck service providing turkey legs delivered to your home. The second one is Elevated Renovations, a renovation company. Dunkin' Donuts project, things are moving forward with the proposal and their new location on Monee Road. Daycare, west of I-57 on Emerald Drive, talks have resumed for that business. Crow's Head Cooperage, things are moving forward. As we know, recently, Crow's Head has been authorized or given a special use permit for their location. End of report, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Building Services report, Public Safety, Trustee Udris.
Thank you. First for EMA, the Monee vaccination site will be closing in 3 weeks. So if you haven't taken advantage of this, I'm asking you to please think about coming out and getting your vaccination. EMA was out for about 3.5 hours on the 26th for storm duty. Just so that everybody knows, our EMA department notifies the National Weather Service of any conditions on the ground for weather alerts, providing damage assessment. Please remember, outdoor sirens are just for that. Severe weather at night is often difficult to alert residents, and if you listen to the news, so many people in Naperville, Woodridge area talked about not hearing the sirens, but having apps on their phones that actually alerted them and gave them plenty of opportunity to get down and get to safety. Some of them said as much as 15 minutes. So if you haven't put an app on your phone, please consider doing so. It probably will save your life someday. They also are working with the American Legion, letting them use one of the bays at their EMA headquarters for their stuff, a backpack for veterans. The village is happy to assist, and it's been a great working experience working with the American Legion and Amazon on that project. From the police department, there was a meeting between union representatives, pension board members, the chief, and the finance director. They've reached a full resolution on the pension withholdings to assure that we do not have a repeat of previous shortfalls. All parties were in full agreement that the process now in place will fulfill all legal mandates and make all withholdings consistent across the board. The police department is also asking, and I'm putting this out for board members to start thinking about more to come on this, but to consider the purchase of a portable speed limit sign. Normally this would be probably under DPW, but we would probably need to research the budget issues, work with Daryl on this to figure out exactly where. But the police department would do the legwork on available systems. This would help to keep some of our speeding issues a little bit more in check, where they have difficulty sometimes sparing the resources to consistently monitor that. Areas like Ridgeland Avenue, Court Street, I'll even throw my street, Orchard Trail, into that as well. So, right? But more to come on that, something that we'd like to see happen. And finally, K-9 CAP is going to complete basic training on July 9th. And will start his 3 to 11 duty shift on July 11th. Glad to see that happen. End of report.
Thank you, Trustee Udris. Moving on to the attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 4 items for the board's consideration. The first item is the approval of the final TIF payout to Dr. Sheets, also known as JPEL LLC. I believe he has submitted, completed the work as required. I believe our building inspector has gone out there and reviewed the same. I did talk to Paul a couple times last week. He is aware if the board approves this payout. It's $500, and it would be issued to Community Bank and Trust of Beecher because they have a lien against the proceeds, and he understands that. So he did still sign the agreement I asked him to sign, and there's also a waiver from his standpoint, basically waiving any right he may have against the Village of Monee. So it's up for the board's review and deemed appropriate. Authorize the disbursement of $97,500, and the TIF will be paid in full.
I'll make that motion.
I'm sorry, before we do that, we have to remove it off the table first.
Oh, I will make a motion to untable it.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Now I'll
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Okay, now you can make the
Now I'll
motion.
make the motion for the TIF payout of $97,500 to EJL Enterprises.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes, but I have a question.
Trustee Wilson?
If he fulfilled everything in the TIF agreement from the contract,
Yes, ma'am.
did you still have him sign a waiver that he would take responsibility
He
of the flooding if it occurred?
Just him only, because there's questions about whether he did absolutely everything, and he understands that completely. So he did sign it, and he understands he would have no claim against the village. That doesn't mean when he sells it, the next buyer, but they have to be put on notice by Dr. Sheets. So he's fully aware of that, trust me. But he signed it.
Okay, so my question is, if he filled the TIF agreement according to what the village is asking for, why did he have to sign it?
Well, partly because what we asked for at the very beginning, he did not do. There was a compromise with respect to his parking lot, and he fully understands that. So there was compromise from his standpoint, compromise for us. So we indicated in consideration of releasing the 97.5 to his lender, he would waive any right that he may have, he and him only, against the village.
Okay.
He signed off, and his attorney approved it.
Okay, my vote is yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item for the board's consideration, if the board recalls, we reviewed a hold harmless agreement submitted by the Fire Protection District for a project they have ongoing at their station. I believe there were some questions at the last meeting about the terms of the agreement and the project itself. My understanding, those questions or concerns were addressed. So it's up tonight for the board's review and consideration, and this hold harmless is in favor of the village. They are holding us harmless, meaning the fire district, similar to what Dr. Sheets did, that they would have no claim against us.
You looking for a motion?
Yes, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a few comments, and I was able to go over there, I think Friday, and walk that ground with Ed and their construction manager. Ed, can you come up here and just discuss this? Essentially, from a layman's point of view, all the water that's in, all the rainwater just flows right into the railroad cut.
Yes.
That's the way it's set up. You want to add to that?
That is pretty much the gist of it. The expansion of the building, it's much closer to the sidewalk than it was. They added, I'm not sure what the square footage is, but with the extension of the building, it eliminated some soft surface that would absorb rainfall. And there had been sidewalk improvements made that were in the original plans to account for that. But considering the proximity, it's right across the street from the cut, and there's ample collection infrastructure available, there's little or no possibility that could flood. I'll never say anything is completely impossible, but the chances of that flooding, if that area floods, we have a lot bigger problems than a little bit of water in the fire station. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is a review of ordinance number 1515 regarding no dogs in the park. Failed to call you back, but yeah, it was asked to be brought up, so I'm not too sure.
Okay, so I'll just kind of add to it. Ordinance number 1515 was an ordinance that went into effect in 2009. In the way that Parks and Rec has expanded programs now, and the way the village has expanded, and I would dare say that the village is much more dog-friendly, and in keeping in special, even special events that we have for our canine companions, that we wanted to bring up, and I know it's been brought up by this board and even the previous administration several months ago, to repeal this ordinance number 1515 that would take down the signs and allow dogs in our parks, with the understanding that the other ordinance, the village ordinance, that people will still clean up after their pets. And that's what I wanted to propose to this board and see if we could repeal that. Did I summarize that okay? Perfectly. Okay, thank you. So I guess we would need a motion to repeal ordinance number 1515.
If we could have a motion authorizing me to draft the ordinance, so it would
To
be up
draft
for the,
the
yes,
ord- okay.
please. Which will be up for the next board agenda.
So I'll make that motion to draft that, for our attorney to draft that motion to repeal ordinance number 1515 to be voted upon at our next meeting.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that at all?
It's about time that we do this.
Roll call, please.
I had a comment, too. I'm just wondering if a better place to discuss this would be at a committee of the whole, just because I want to think through the issues of allowing dogs in the park. Now, I'm a dog lover / owner, and so I'm predisposed to this, but I'm just trying to think of some of the implications of that. If there's dogs that are not people-friendly and bite, have a propensity to bite other people. So I guess I would like to see us hash this out a little bit more, think it through.
If you've been to several of the last events that we've had, that have happened in the park,
Yeah.
you probably would have noticed that there were lots of dogs present without any incident. People, in fact, were very much enjoying seeing other people's dogs. We are bringing it up at the next board meeting. If there is anybody that objects to it, they certainly can come be part of the discussion then. I don't see a committee meeting essential for this.
And I would tend to agree, and this ordinance just has, to be able to have dogs in the park. Our other annoyance ordinance covers rude and misbehaving animals in public. So I think that, that ordinance would cover any of those misbehaving animals.
And also with our Poochapalooza successful event, which was the largest event we had with dogs in our park, where technically we were violating our own ordinance, but we didn't have one anomaly there. Nothing went bad, no dogs interacting, misbehaving, no one was bit. Being responsible pet owners, I think that's something that we're going to have to key in on, and curbing dogs. And I think Animal Wellness was going to donate some receptacles, some refuse receptacles, so then that way we can have get those up right away, so then we can have those available to people so they don't have excuses for not curbing their dogs. So with that event, and then I know, Scott, at Farmers Market, a lot of people were coming with their pets and wanted to bring their pets. So Monee has evolved and is very pet friendly, so that's something that we saw the necessity for the change. And yes, it would probably, for those pet owners that wouldn't be responsible, then we would have to address those non-responsible or non-being responsible pet owners, which we already have ordinances about dogs being on leash and littering, so shouldn't be an issue.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. And the last item for the board's consideration, the zoning board met with respect to a variance application for property at 5310 West Court Street. I believe it was a favorable recommendation, It's for a fence, therefore, this ordinance is approving the variance application for 5310 West Court Street.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that, please? Roll call?
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
1980.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any old business? New business?
So, and I just want to bring up, in accordance with our ordinance number 1515, it is also pet license time too, so I know that we've repealed that, so in keeping with that, and fireworks are starting already too, so we know it's a dangerous time for our pets to be out, so have them chipped and please register them with the village too. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. Any new business? Open to the public, non-agenda items. Please come on up and give your name.
Good evening, Board. My name is Lee Boswell. I'm at 5157 West Park Lane. I'm here representing the Monee Chamber. Thank God things are clearing up with COVID, and we're going to bring back our two major fundraisers this year. And our first one, I started about 11 years ago, and we tried to get the Monee, the village people, everybody got involved in this thing, and it turned out, and it grows each year. And last year was our biggest year ever, and I'm hoping already the ticket sales that I'm getting are starting to go up higher and higher and that stuff. And I'm kind of proud of it. It shows that we're going in the right direction, and we're offering our town some relaxation. Instead of going to the White Sox or Cubs and spend $300-400, you can go out there and have a nice time. And it's COVID-free. It's open now, 100%. And that stuff, they have protocol out there. Wash your hands and everything. I was out there with the general manager 2 weeks ago. And they've had things out there already. It's going really good. So I just want to because I know there's so much people worried about COVID, but they do have protocol because they were shut down for a while playing. So
what's the date of that game?
I'm going to go through everything,
Okay.
Heidi, and I'll let everybody know. And then I have stuff out there on the rack out there stating everything that what's going on and that stuff. So that night, they're going to play the Gateway Grizzlies. And where is it at? It's in Joliet, right across from the Amtrak station. And right next to the Amtrak station, there's free parking there, so you don't even have to worry about parking. It's like about 500 feet from where you go into the stadium and that stuff. And it's on Saturday, July 31st. And the gates open at 5:05. And the baseball game starts at 6:05. The cost is $10 per person. It's a reserved seat. Children under 2, they can get in free and that stuff. And it's kid friendly out there too, because the kids can play out in the left field. And like I said, it's free parking south of the ballpark. And the way to get tickets, you can call me. I got it on the sheet. Call me and I can meet you or whatever, and I can bring you the tickets. Or else the Village Hall has them here at the thing. Michelle's got everything handled. I talked to Michelle a long time ago. Everything's working out good there too. So and a couple of things about that night that what's going to be going. There's a theme night that night. It's Harry Potter. Because last year we had ours and they had a theme. I forgot what it was, Cinderella or something. People were dressed up. So this year it's Harry Potter. So you can get the kids dressed up, and you guys can get dressed up if you want to, and that. So it's a pretty nice deal in that. Any questions about that? Like I said, there's sheets out there. It's on the Monee it's on the Monee. I don't know if it's on the website, but it's on the Facebook. It's going to be popping up a light. It's going to be like something you don't want to see anymore and that stuff. So I hope, we have village officials like in the past we've had. It's really nice. And I'm going to reach out, and I was going to ask the chief, and I'm going to talk to Mr. Nealon if I can post something. So maybe an officer or might want to go to the game, be presence for the whole group, and they talk to people. It'd be kind of nice that everybody's out there in it. So I'll give you a sheet after the thing. So that's number one. So that's a good one. And the main one, we didn't have it last year because of COVID, but this year it's looking up like a real good for our annual golf outing. It's bigger and better, and we got a lot more gifts. And right now, it's all solidified already, and it's going to be September 15th on a Wednesday. And it starts at 8:30, shotgun at 10 o'clock, open bar, everybody open bar, for 2 hours. And we got dinner, raffle, and awards in that. At Deer Creek again, it's at Deer Creek again. So it's a good time to go out there. A lot of people here have been at the golf course and that stuff, but anyway, I got people that are going to the game and they're going to participate. So the chamber, the main reason that I really got involved, something like 21 years ago in the chamber, I moved here and I want to get involved in getting activities, and I want to do something different. I tried to bring what I did at Homewood and bring it out here in a lesser scale. You know, I know that. And it's worked so far, so I'm proud of that. You know, one of my legacies in that for that. And another main thing, we don't make that much profit on the baseball, but the golf course makes it up for both. And that from there, all the proceeds goes towards the Monee Scholarship Fund. We usually do 2, and if it gets up there, we can do 3. And we also help out with the community events in Monee too. So we always give up, we give to the firemen for their turkey raffle. Hopefully they'll have it this year. And we help out the other churches in town and everything. So as the mayor knows, we give back to the community, big thing. At least I think it averages 12 or 14 events. It's something that our legacy is really nice about. So, well, thank you. I appreciate it, and hope to see you at one of them anyway. So thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you. Anybody else?
Might as well share a quick couple of events. We've got a Touch a Truck event that's free to families this Saturday at Monee Free. It's a Monee Lions of Churches event, and we've got the fire chief out there with a couple of vehicles. Chief Coroner, I don't know if anybody contacted you, but if not, we'll blame Pastor Kevin since he's not here. And there you go. And then also, we got to tour the creamery this past week at our MAC meeting. Super great. Was able to meet and talk to Christina a little bit. And so we have a student event that we do every year. It's our 10th year, junior high through senior high kids. We have about 25 kids this year with 10 adults helping. But talking to Christina, I said, hey, we've got a week of like these students that are going to be just doing some discipleship stuff, learning about how to apply their faith in the community. Do you have anything that we can do? And so we'll be working with the Historical Society of Monee and doing some work with the creamery a little bit. So it'll be good. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Next up is executive session. Number 1, it's 5 ILCS 120-2 C1, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. And number 2, 5 ILCS 120-2.6 D, review of executive session minutes. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
No, second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakes?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes. Hurry up.